Bob 95 FM. It's the Chris, John, and Cori in the morning. You know why. Podcast from Bob 95 FM.
All right, so here we go. Another week here at Bob 95 FM, and so much going on today. A very busy day here on Bob 95 FM. Well, let's kind of go backwards. We have an out to lunch that we're going to do a little bit later on today. That's happening at Famous Dave's. That happens every Monday around 11:30. Watch your news feed on Facebook, because you could win a $100 gift card from Famous Dave's. So that's going to be happening a little later. And then as we move back this way, coming up at 8:20 this morning, an interview with Lee Brice. And Lee Brice, country star.
Lee Brice?
The actual Lee Brice will be joining Chris, John, and Cori in the morning. That'll be happening at 8:20 today.
Maybe. Does he actually call?
Well,
we never know with these things.
Fingers crossed.
It's been a while since we had one booked.
It's so true.
I don't know.
Exactly, yep.
Maybe we've turned over the new leaf. So, and Lee also going to be telling us about how he might be coming to Fargo for a concert.
Really?
Okay. Or Moorhead, or Glendon, or Mapleton.
Really?
Or Harwood. Could even be coming to Arthur, North Dakota. Yeah.
Not A-Town.
Yeah. So
no way.
We'll talk to him a little bit about that. Then at 8 o'clock, clues with the secret celebrity for $500.
Which seems so incredibly obvious right now.
Oh, my goodness.
The last couple of clues are like, come on.
Are we too close to the tree and missing
No,
the
I
forest?
think there's a lot of people in the group, in the Facebook group
They figured
that say,
it out?
I know it. Call me.
Yeah. So that's at 8 o'clock this morning. And then coming up around 7:10 this morning or so, more of your junk on Bob 95 FM as we're asking you to show us your junk today. So we've got a lot going on.
That's good stuff, yep.
Short period of time to get to it. And, something about NDSU.
I didn't see you marked safe from the loss last night. I thought about if UND would have won last night, I would have come to your house for a welfare check.
Yeah.
You probably would have needed to be there to hold my hand.
SDSU, I didn't look. Did they?
They did win.
They did win.
Yeah, they had to come from behind. That they were behind most of the game, but they did end up winning. And NDSU, I'm not much of an offensive guru when it comes to the world of football. But yesterday, NDSU's offense scored 2 points. 2. And you're like,
3.
2.
3. They had a field goal, didn't they?
Special teams.
Well, I suppose you're right. Technically, they kicked
the offense scored 2 points, 1 2-point conversion.
There you go.
It is the lowest amount of points that your offense can score.
Technically, that could be special. But I guess it was a 2-point conversion.
Because the offense goes back on the field. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So technically, offense scored 2 points.
You're not going to win a lot of games.
No, you're not. They even had a shot with 30 seconds left to win it. But last night's SDSU game and NDSU's loss yesterday were about the same thing. Southern Illinois, with like 18 seconds left, was at the 30-yard line, a chance to get it into the end zone, threw an interception like the 5-yard line for SDSU to hold on to win. So they will play Delaware, and then James Madison will play Sam Houston State, who beat NDSU yesterday.
All right.
So this weird, wacky
spring thing, it barely counts anyway.
It's weird.
And the debate yesterday on the post-game hotline show was this season a success for NDSU? And overwhelmingly said no. That NDSU's standard is you have to win a national championship every year.
At least get there.
At
least get there.
If you don't like that kind of pressure, don't come to NDSU to play. Because that is the reality every single, we're not coming here to try to win 7 games and get into the playoffs. Leave that for the other schools. NDSU's standard is a lot higher. And the coaches know it, players know it, everyone knows it. That's just the standard.
Does Bob Dole know it?
Does Bob Dole know it?
Bob Dole knows it. Pencil, yeah. So anyway, we now fully, John, can put all of our thoughts and actions right towards our golf game.
Right. Yes.
Don't even get distracted by the spring football.
Just as frustrating. Yes.
Anyway, Cora, how's your weekend?
It was great.
Sounds good. It's Chris, John,
Bob 95 FM. It's the Chris, John, and Cori in the morning. You know why. Podcast from Bob 95 FM.
I mean, literally, this guy went bowling with his dad. Literally. John Hinkle Sr. never bowled a perfect game while he was alive. His son changed that last week after he was dead. You see, John Hinkle Jr. was bowling with a ball that had the cremains of John Hinkle Sr. inside the ball.
Okay.
And that's when he rolled a perfect 300 game in Peoria, Illinois last week. It's hard for me to hold it together because I was so close to doing what I had set out to do. And at the very end, my emotions started to really hit me as I was trying to throw the ball. As I threw that last ball, I had no idea where it went. I just threw it and it struck. The Sun posted a video on Facebook of the moment that he scored the strike in the 12th frame. And as you would imagine, just waterworks and emotion. And I can't express what this means to me. I just bowled a 300 with a ball that had my dad's ashes in it.
Oh, that's so sweet. And also, so full of pressure, right, that you're putting on yourself. You guys talk about your golf game, and when you start to get mental and in your head, how things go sideways typically.
Now, the parents introduced John and his twin brother Joe to bowling when they were about 4 years old, and every weekend, he said almost every weekend, our family went bowling together. Wow. This was our activity. And he said his dad was a very good bowler, but never had bowled a perfect game. And if you're a good, like really good bowler, that's something you're shooting for, obviously. John Sr. died back in 2016, and John Jr. decided that he was going to start putting a little bit of his dad's ashes into the thumb hole of his bowling ball.
Okay, this just got less impressive again. Sorry to do this.
God, don't do
2016? This would be something if he died and it was the first time he did it. He's been doing this for 5 years.
That's because this is his goal, is to get there. It wouldn't make news if it didn't happen.
Special ball or something with the
John.
No, it's just I'm dipping my thumb in dad and sticking it in the bowling ball.
Well, now, just hold on. Before you go tap dancing all over this guy's grave, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the time, this was a couple of years ago, the United States Bowling Congress decided to require thumb holes to be filled for people who bowl with both hands, which this guy does. Like real true bowlers, their thumbs aren't in the bowling ball.
Right. Yeah.
Right? To help get the side spin on it that makes it do the loop-de-loop. He said, I knew at that point I'd have to get some of my bowling balls filled. So I thought that would be the perfect time that's what we used was some of my dad's ashes to make the resin to fill up the hole. He asked around when no one was willing to help him. And then finally, in December of last year, one of his friends opened a pro shop and agreed to give it a try. So the ashes were sealed into the ball and perfectly on the first attempt. And he had said that he had waited till Monday to use the ball. So he hadn't actually used the ball until just last week and then bowled the perfect game.
All right. It sure made it sound like he was doing it for 5 years. The way he described it before.
Well, no, the dad died in 2016.
Yeah, he said, and
he put a little bit of ashes into it, but not like filling.
Okay.
God, John. What did somebody do to you?
I want to see what this dude's closet looks like. Can you imagine the shirts?
Oh, gosh, yeah. All the bowling shirts.
Yeah,
all the bowling shirts.
Like Charlie Sheen's dream, right?
A lot of big advertisements on the back, little name stitched into the front. Yeah, you know what we're talking about. All right, Corey, what do we got coming up next?
Remember Benifer? Anybody?
Yeah?
Anybody? Well, there's some news. Maybe they're getting back together.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. It's coming up in the latest.
Ooh, that'd be hot.
Bob 95 FM. It's the Chris, John, and Corey in the morning. You know why? Podcast. From Bob 95 FM. Swiping through tons of stories. Here's the latest with Cori on Bob 95 FM.
This was like when they took celebrity names and did the first mashups. Benifer. Early 2000s. You remember that? When we were doing that with every single celebrity couple out there? That was Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck back when they were dating and then became engaged. She had that big canary yellow diamond on her hand. Everybody, you remember?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, what's old is new again? Could I interest you in a relationship reboot?
Oh, boy.
I know.
They're doing it on Netflix?
Yeah. So I guess Ben has been spotted several times being driven to J-Lo's home in a white Escalade that's actually owned by her. Sources also, also say, though, they are quick to note that they've all been daytime visits and that they have actually been friends since breaking off their engagement in the early 2000s. But you know what's funny about you've got an ex who's a friend? It's that you never really ever see them get together and hang out until they're both away from the partners that they had.
Right.
Ever notice that?
Yeah, of course.
You don't really ever, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that I want this to happen, but I'm just saying I want this to happen.
This is something I used to refer to as the old boot, new shoe theory.
Ooh, share more.
Where, everyone loves getting new shoes, but you always have that one pair of boots you just kind of keep around. Every once in a while, you're like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to wear them. And you put them on, you're like, God, I love these old boots. I know my new shoes are fantastic. The 28-year-old supermodel or whatever, those are great.
Yep.
But these boots, they know something.
Well, if your boots are 50-year-old J-Lo, I think they're pretty great old boots. If that's the case.
To him, she is the old boot.
Yeah, no, I know.
How about that?
Crazy. Yeah. So anyway, I'm kind of waiting,
I'm
holding
make
my
t-shirts,
breath.
Old boot, new shoe.
Yeah.
I think I'm missing a marketing opportunity there.
You are. So the Recording Academy announced some big changes in its voting process. This includes the elimination of their controversial secret nomination review committees. Now, this happened with the Grammys. Did you know about the secret?
No.
I honestly didn't know it until the Weeknd threw a fit this last year when he wasn't nominated. And apparently that was the catalyst to get them to kibosh these secret committees. So see?
Oh, no.
Even though he didn't start a change.org petition, his voice was loud enough to get them to...
I don't get it. So they're not going to have a secret committee for what? The nominations?
Yeah, the nominations
don't they have
and
to
the
keep
voting.
them a secret? Isn't that part of the deal until they announce them? I don't understand.
Yeah, but
how do you...
Because the secret would be who's on the committee, John. Now, apparently, a little more transparency, you'll know who's on the committee. This way, you can totally judge the people that didn't vote for you.
Weekend.
See, you love buying new shoes.
But
you'll always keep that pair. It's probably in the back of the closet.
You just can't get rid of them.
But you know they're there.
And it's
You're not going to delete
a
that
secret
number.
who they came from.
No.
So.
All right, I'm Cori Jensen. That is the latest.
Bob 95 FM, Chris, John, and Cori in the morning. You know why.
Cori, we're going to have to default to you because, you're the one who has been with child of the three of us.
Right.
I mean, I have kids, but I didn't have the kids.
Yes.
Is 29 weeks in a wheelhouse to get on a flight?
Yes, I think it is.
You're still okay then? Most doctors would say that's fine.
I think I think your doctor gives you clearance as long as it's before 36 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
so you
ultimately,
got some time then.
Yeah.
ultimately it is up to you. If you're at 37 weeks and you want to get on a plane, I guess go ahead. It's not like it's a law. It's frowned upon.
Risky is what they would probably call that.
So this was the situation over the weekend. A flight that took off from Utah while over the Pacific Ocean on its way to Honolulu.
That's a long flight.
That's
And there's no emergency landing between here and there.
No, you're pretty much there.
Yep.
A Delta flight. This woman who was 29 weeks pregnant went into labor and had her baby on the plane.
Oh, my.
Now, a crew member can be heard over an intercom during a TikTok video, which has gone viral and viewed over 11 million times from this weekend. A crew member can be heard over the intercom asking the passengers to remain seated for a few minutes and also asked if there was a doctor who happened to be on the plane.
Things you don't want to hear when you're on a
Right.
flight.
Oh.
Well,
The announcements you don't want to hear.
No kidding. Like, what is going on
Oh,
up there?
dear.
Well, lucky for her, there was actually a physician and 3 neonatal nurses
Oh, my
Shut up!
goodness.
that were on the flight.
I was going to say, because my concern right now, 29 weeks, that's premature.
Yeah, I
Really
mean,
preemie.
Well, very much.
Very.
The chance of complications
Big time.
pretty high there.
Mm-hmm.
So this woman went into labor. The 3 EMT nurses and the doctor came forward, and they cleared the section out, had the baby right there on the plane, and I don't know how this happened, but they used a shoestring to cut the umbilical cord.
Oh, why? What do you mean you don't know how that happened? You just tie it really tight.
They clamp it off
Until-
before you cut it. Remember? I don't think they
Yeah.
physically cut it with the shoestring.
Oh,
They tied
okay.
it like a tourniquet
'Cause I'm
and
thinking-
then slice through it.
That would be the. Excuse me. Is there anybody on the plane who's got a good pair of scissors? Do we have any?
You can't bring those on board anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
I would have had a
Shoestring it
box
is.
cutter, but
Oh, my goodness.
so
Well,
can't bring
anyway.
any of that stuff anymore.